You walk into the job interview. Your palms are damp, your heart is thumping, and as soon as you see the person across the desk, you do something strange. You flash them a big, bright smile. You think it's a gesture of confidence and warmth. You believe you're saying, I'm friendly, I'm likable, I'm the right person for this job. But the truth is far more unsettling. That smile? It's not an expression of happiness at all. It's an ancient fear grimace. And your brain has been secretly using it to navigate every single social interaction of your life. The real reason you smile has nothing to do with joy. It has everything to do with survival. To understand this, you have to rewind about 30 million years, to a time when your primate ancestors lived in strict dominance hierarchies. In a troop of baboons or chimpanzees, showing teeth was never a sign of good cheer. It was a sign of terror. When a low-ranking monkey was confronted by a dominant aggressor, it would pull back the corners of its mouth, bare its teeth, and sometimes emit a high-pitched squeal. This wasn't a friendly greeting. It was a silent scream, an appeasement signal, a desperate attempt to say, I'm no threat, please don't hurt me. The primatologist John Van Hoof was one of the first to see the connection. He meticulously studied the facial expressions of dozens of primate species and noticed something remarkable. The human smile, the friendly, everyday smile we all use, is anatomically identical to what he called the silent bared teeth face. This expression is used almost exclusively by subordinates in tense, uncertain social situations. It's a ritualized display of fear and submission. Van Hoof's research mapped the evolution of this expression across the primate family tree, and the conclusion was clear. Your smile is a direct evolutionary descendant of a gesture that once meant, I am afraid, not I am happy. Frans de Waal, the renowned primatologist, spent decades observing chimpanzee politics. He saw how the silent bared teeth face would rapidly diffuse conflict. A young male, after accidentally antagonizing the alpha, would crouch, bare his teeth, and extend a hand. The alpha would be appeased. The grimace worked. It communicated, I accept your authority and I pose no challenge. This mechanism became so essential to maintaining group cohesion that it got hardwired deep into the primate brain. It wasn't about feeling good. It was about staying safe. And that ancient wiring still lives inside your skull. Fast forward to today. You're at a party, meeting your partner's parents for the first time. What's the first thing you do? You smile. A lot. You smile when you feel awkward. You smile when you're being criticized. You smile when you're nervous. You smile when you want someone to like you. None of these are moments of pure happiness. They are moments of social uncertainty. Moments where your ancient brain subconsciously perceives a potential threat. Not a physical threat, but a social one. The threat of rejection, embarrassment, or loss of status. And your brain responds by triggering that same ancient circuit. Bare your teeth. Show you're not dangerous. Appease the higher status individual. It's the same grimace your ancestors used, only now it's been rebranded as friendliness. Consider a study by psychologist Mark Mayhew. He observed spontaneous smiling in a controlled social setting and found that the frequency of smiles increased dramatically when individuals were placed in a lower power position, even when nothing funny or joyful was happening. They weren't smiling because they were happy. They were smiling because they felt vulnerable. The smile served as a non-conscious placation mechanism. Another study by social psychologist Jocelyn Vies and colleagues examined how smiles influence perceptions of dominance. They found that people who smiled more were automatically perceived as less dominant and more approachable. In other words, your smile is not just a reflection of how you feel. It's a tool that lowers your apparent threat level. You literally make yourself smaller and less dangerous in the eyes of others. This explains so much about modern life. Why service workers smile endlessly, even when exhausted. It's not genuine joy. It's a structural appeasement display required by the economic hierarchy. Why you smile nervously when receiving bad news. Your brain is trying to disarm the messenger. Why women, across culture after culture, are socialized to smile more than men. The research consistently shows that in societies with greater gender power imbalances, women use the smile as a reflexive, submissive signal far more often. It's not nature. It's the ancient grimace being culturally amplified. But what about the real smiles? The ones you feel deep in your bones when you see an old friend or watch your child take their first steps. The Duchenne smile, the one that crinkles your eyes, is often held up as the gold standard of true happiness. But even this, evolutionarily speaking, is built on the same foundation. The Duchenne smile is not a separate expression. It is an elaboration. As our social brains grew more complex, the old fear grimace got co-opted and enriched by newer brain systems that handle attachment and bonding. The same facial muscles that once signaled "please don't kill me" began to also signal "I am safe with you." And finally, "I am truly glad you exist." The fear grimace evolved into a social glue, and then into a genuine expression of warmth. But the original survival function never disappeared. It's still there, lurking beneath every single smile. Think about the first date you ever went on. You sat across from a stranger, your stomach in knots, your mind racing with the pressure to be liked. And you smiled. You smiled a lot. That smile was not just about showing you were having a nice time. It was an intricate negotiation of power and vulnerability. You were silently communicating. I recognize your status as a potential mate. I am lowering my defenses. I am not a threat. And simultaneously, you were scanning their smile for the same signals. When they smiled back, it didn't just make you feel good, it made you feel safe. The entire romantic interaction was conducted against the backdrop of an ancient primate ritual, invisible but unstoppable. Now consider the job interview again. You are literally in an artificial dominance interaction. The interviewer holds status, resources, and the power to reject. Your brain categorizes them as a high-ranking individual, so the smile pours forth, unbidden. What feels like charm is actually an ancient subordination routine. And the most successful candidates are often those who wield this grimace most smoothly. They don't just answer questions. They perform a delicate dance of appeasement and confidence, signaling that they are competent enough to be useful, but deferential enough not to destabilize the hierarchy. The smile is the oil that makes this machine run. The truly unsettling part is how little awareness you have of any of this. You think you smile because you're choosing to be friendly, but the impulse arrives before conscious thought. The facial nerves are triggered by subcortical brain regions that predate your rational mind by eons. You are, in a very real sense, a primate wearing a suit, and your smile is the ghost of a terrified monkey trying to stay alive in a troop of unpredictable giants. Every time you grin at a stranger on the street, your brain is performing a calculation millions of years old. If I show my teeth in a non-threatening way, the odds of being attacked go down. The fact that you also feel a flicker of genuine warmth is a happy accident of evolution, not the main story. So the next time you catch yourself smiling automatically in an elevator or during an awkward silence, pause. Notice the slight tension in your cheeks. That's not pure joy. That's a distant echo of a frightened creature baring its teeth on the African savanna. The smile has been polished by civilization into a thing of beauty, but its heart is still a survival cry. And every job interview, every first date, every tense family dinner is just the latest stage for that ancient drama to play out one more time.